It's an honor to be here with my fellow Howard University alumnus. And I want to stress that President Obama, when questioned, said, well, I'm in D.C. Yeah, we should be a state. That isn't enough. Just because he's living in D.C., this is an international issue. This is a national issue. The lack of self-government, this is a human rights violation, and I would urge President Obama and the Democrats in Congress and the Republicans and the independent, Bernie Sanders did sign on as a co-signer to the New Columbia Emissions Act, to all speak out very strongly for D.C. statehood and make it a reality. And this is not the end of our struggle. This is not even the beginning of a struggle. We are going to raise the level of the struggle for statehood. Locally, we're going to create a much stronger movement locally for statehood. We're going to create a moral Monday in D.C. for statehood. It may be on Tuesday. But we're going to create this movement that unites the struggles for affordable housing, for $15 an hour minimum wage, for a D.C. public bank, for all of the key demands that would make a better life for all the people of D.C. And we're going to make a demand that cannot be refused. We are also going to work, and once I'm elected to as shadow senator, I will work to create committees in every state, all the 50 states, Nebraskans for D.C. statehood.
Very good.
And use the fact that many of the relatives all over the country live in D.C. Let's energize them to create this national movement. And finally, internationally, we have a precedent. In the 1954, Brown versus the Board of Education. I was 11 years old, by the way. And when that decision that ended segregation, a very important factor in that decision was the fact that the United States was competing with the Soviet Union for world public opinion. And segregation was an embarrassment. Well, we have to work harder to make our lack of self-government and equal rights in D.C. an embarrassment for the State Department all over the world, and move this issue as a human rights issue, and not only a civil rights issue, but a human rights issue. And finally, I'll say, I was at the March on Washington 51 years ago. I was 19 years old. D.C. statehood is one of the unfulfilled items on that agenda that was raised in that historic march for jobs and freedom. And so is the $15 an hour minimum wage, because they demanded a little over $2 minimum wage, corrected for inflation. That would be over $15 an hour. So Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement was prophetic in their vision. Let's fulfill it. Join us. We're all over the country, and I can keep on going. Yes. And I better shut up.
Excellent. Well, and thank you again to David Schwartzman, and that's David Schwartzman, who's running for U.S. Senate Shadow. And as I said, we're also joined by citizen journalist Martin Moulton, who's running for Shadow Representative here in Washington, D.C. as well in the Green Party. I, of course, am Eugene Puryear. I mean, that's the Libertarian Party, excuse me. I am Eugene Puryear from the D.C. Statehood Green Party, running for D.C. Council at large. And so I just want to also reiterate again that today we are having a national D.C. statehood call-in day. We have we're bringing people together from across the country to call into their representatives or email in, write in, however they choose, to demand that they sign on to the New Columbia Emissions Act, and if they have already signed on, to continue to push the New Columbia Emissions Act and to try to make sure that we're able to get movement on this bill sooner rather than later. We believe that it is 100% lawful for statehood to be granted through through Congress with the signature of the president, and we're excited about the possibilities of a statehood movement that is really being rebuilt.